Hello, friends. This week in our gospel, we have the parable of the sower. And the parable of the sower is the mother of all parables. Because both Matthew, Mark, and Luke, all of them, when they present their parable teaching, they always start with this parable of the sower. Why is it so important? Well, it takes us back to creation, right? Where we see that God was the first planter of gardens. God is a planter. He's a gardener. And he gave us the task to keep and guard the garden, but also to form it and to pour our creativity into the design and all that. Can you imagine what it was like gardening before the fall in the garden in Eden? I mean, there would be no sweat of your brow. That's what I did last Friday morning. I was out there before the heat of the day, but it was hot. And I was pulling weeds out and I was sweating down. This is part of the curse. And so, can you imagine what it's like to garden without any of this? Just being able to go out there and that's no sweat at all. Things growing, no weeds, that sort of thing. Well, unfortunately, gardening involves the sweat of our brow and pulling weeds. Okay, and when it comes to gardening, we can prepare the soil because in the parable, that's the only thing that I think we have any control over at all. Okay, are we a pathway where we let the people of this world and to trample down our soil to such a degree that it can't receive any seeds, and then the birds come and they eat them up, right? Or do you have a stony heart? Okay, I hope you don't have a stony heart. Stony heart is a heart that just is, it's not relational to God. It's cold, and toward others. And then you got the weeds, okay? Last Sunday at the 10:45 and at the 8, I preached a sermon on burdens, okay? Actually, Jesus calls these weeds anxieties, and there's not much difference between burdens and anxieties, are there? There's all sorts of different kinds of weeds in our garden, okay? I'm not a weed expert, but I can tell what they are. And so, what kind of weeds are growing in our garden? What kind of weeds? We have anxieties about so many things, don't we? And when our anxieties overwhelm our interiors, it's like, God coming into our house, our temple, and our garden inside, and behold, there's weeds. Whenever you see a weed as a gardener, at least I get anxious, okay? And because you want to pull the weed, you want to get rid of it, So we have to be able to do the hard work of weeding our anxieties out of our interior gardens, because God loves to come into a beautiful garden, just like you like to come into a beautiful garden. The concerns we have, the financial concerns, the anxieties, the relational anxieties that we have, anxieties for the future. That's, you can just list them out. Maybe that's a good thing to do. These are all different kinds of weeds. Okay. And we pull them out. Maybe just one patch at a time. Identify them. Bring it before the Lord in prayer. Because when our life is full, our hearts are full of anxieties, we are basically telling God, Jesus, I don't trust you. It's exactly what it's all about. And so how could Jesus want to come into my garden when there's all these weeds facing him saying, Jesus, I don't trust you. So it's easy when you see the whole thing to get overwhelmed with the weeds, but just, identify them. Maybe one little patch at a time, and keeping yourself aware of them, and continuously giving yourself over to the work of gardening your soul. God bless you.